Hey guys, so I just wanted to run through an update on the Sacred Beast Chimera deck. We had the first Genesys points change drop just a few days ago. So there have been a couple changes to the deck. I'll just quickly run through what's changed. Sacred Beast ratios are still the same. If you want to see explanations as to why I'm running these numbers, just watch the previous video. Those haven't changed. We are now able to run Nightmare Apprentice. So Nightmare Apprentice was lowered from 33 to 20 points. So due to popular demand, I've slotted it into this deck. I had to make a couple sacrifices, but it's good to be able to play this card. It's a really, really powerful card. And then we still had triple Mirror Sword Knight, triple Gazelle, and double Big Winged Baphomet. All right, moving on to our other monsters in the deck. Boyo the Dawn's Light. One Gruesome Grave Squirmer now, just because I wanted to change something up with this build, and one is fine. If you need to dump it, you can. Otherwise, it may not be a live card in your hand. Triple Radiant, Dark Fiend, also board breaking abilities, and then double Skullmeister and triple Droll and Lockbird. So these are the last monsters in the deck. Out of these, the Skullmeisters are new additions. It's another Dark Fiend. It's a free hand trap. And it's really powerful against a lot of decks. I mean, there are certain decks in Genesys format like Radiant Typhoon this really doesn't do much against. I think there's one monster that activates in the graveyard. But against a lot of other strategies like Branded and, most decks have graveyard effects. So Skullmeister is usually not a bad card to run. Then the One Fall in Paradise, triple Opening Spirit Gates, Mutiny in the Sky, Chimera Fusion, Polymerizations. And then I had to cut Super Poly to 2, so unfortunately, because Super Poly was raised from 10 to 13, and I'm trying to fit in Nightmare Apprentice, I cut Super Poly to 2. You could honestly get rid of Nightmare Apprentice and run a third copy of Super Poly. I think moving on, that's what I'd like to do, because I just think it's better than Nightmare Apprentice. But, we have the ability to play around with some options now. Nightmare Apprentice has less points, so figured let's do a build where we could try to use it. So I'm just gonna give the deck a quick shuffle here and then see if we can go through some test hands and combos, and I can just showcase a little bit of the play line to the deck, what it's capable of. Again, the extra deck has not changed since the last list, so please feel free to look at my previous video on the deck profile that will showcase the extra deck, and I go a lot more in depth on why I'm running cards at specific ratios and why I'm running them in general, how the deck works. So please check that video out. I'm just gonna mostly run through some combo testing here because it seemed like a lot of people were interested in how the deck works. And I am happy to showcase that. So you don't brick often in this deck, but you can brick. So let's just try a couple of different hands going first. 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is kind of a bit of a bricky hand. 2 Gazelle and 2 Dark Summoning Beast, but we can go full combo here. I'm going to play as if we're uninterrupted. So, normal summon Gazelle. We don't have any other starter, so we have to get Gazelle off, get our Branded Fusion in hand. And Chimera Fusion in hand, and get things going that way. Okay? So we've got our Chimera Fusion. We'll go ahead and activate that now. And we'll send one of our copies of Dark Summoning Beast to the grave, Gazelle. So in this case, I usually really like to start off going into Chimera to get the hand rip. But because we didn't open the best of hands, I'm going to go straight into Baphomet. Just in case. I want to save our fusions for when we need them. So, Chainlink 1 Baphomet to pitch, Chainlink 2 Gazelle to add an illusion monster. So, we are going to add our Nightmare Apprentice, of course, and we are going to send to the graveyard our Chaos Summoning Beast. Actually, we're not going to do that. Kidding me? We're going to send Gruesome Grave Squirmer. All right, this is in hand. Chimera Fusion in graveyard's effect, add it back to hand so we don't get DD Crowed or something later. I don't know. Then I'm going to go ahead and activate Gruesive Grave Squirmer, so I will banish itself to special summon a fiend with 0 attack and defense from the grave, that being Dark Summoning Beast. Now we can activate Dark Summoning Beast's effect. So if you tribute it to special one of the Sacred Beasts from deck, you can't declare an attack during that turn. But because this is the first turn, we don't care about that at all. I'm just going to actually shuffle here. Give it a nice cut. So we're going to be drawing. So normally I would go into Chaos Summoning Beast, send that to the grave, be able to add Fallen Paradise. We have Fallen Paradise already, so we'll just go ahead and activate it. We have a couple of options here. Just because I want to draw better cards, I'm going to try to maybe thin my deck out. So we'll use Nightmare Apprentice effect, pitch Dark Summoning Beast to special summon herself, and then she gets to search an illusion. So we will add our Mirror Sword Knight from deck to hand. That way, you know, less odds of us drawing a card we don't need and would already have access to. So, 3 cards in hand. Let's activate Fallen Paradise to draw 2. Oh, those are some pretty crazy draws. Yeah, so Super Poly and Droll is pretty bonkers to get to do that to your opponent. All right, so here we go. We've now established a board presence. We got 5 cards in hand, 5 really great cards in hand. And let's play around a little bit. Let's see what we can do here. So first of all, we're going to notice we haven't summoned Mirror Sword Knight yet. We haven't gone into our Baphomet line. Baphomet allows you to add 2 cards, so it's really powerful. You'd like to summon Mirror Sword Knight whenever possible. So let's see if there's a way here we can go into that. I'm going to activate Chimera Fusion. I'm going to fuse off our Baphomet and our Raviel. And you may be kind of saying, why are we fusing off Raviel? Well, we got our draw 2. We can summon a Raviel next turn if we'd like to be honest. And right now, we're using it as fusion fodder. 2 Fiend monsters. Duke of Demise. We're going to activate his effect to get another normal summon, and that's going to be Mirror Sword Knight. Okay? So, Mirror Sword Knight's effect. Tribute it. And special summon Big Wing Baphomet from our deck. Baphomet's effect to search. Chimera Fusion. And our 3rd and final copy of Gazelle, wherever he is. There he is. All right. Now we still got 5 cards in hand. We've got our Mirror Sword Knight set up in graveyard. We've got a good amount of resources in our hand here. So this is another point in time we have a couple of options. We could set the Chimera Fusion to go into our Griffin next turn. We can activate it now, get a hand rip, and turn on Mirror Sword Knight. I'm going to go with the latter, honestly. We have Super Poly, we have Droll to sit on. I'd like to get that hand rip, so I'm going to activate Chimera Fusion. Let's fuse away Gazelle and Big Wing Baphomet. Okay. So you can fuse away Duke of Demise and then use its graveyard effect to add back a level 5 Fiend, which is really strong, honestly. But for now, just go into our Chimera. Chimera's effect, our opponent's going to send 1 from hand to grave. Chainlink 2, Big Wing Baphomet lets me special summon Mirror Sword Knight back from the graveyard. Okay? So now we're going to set Super Poly. End phase, opponent discards. Now they got 4 cards in hand. Draw phase. We'll go ahead and activate Mirror Sword Knight. Tribute that. So now we have our negate online. Big Wing Baphomet effect. We can only search Chimera Fusion because we did go through all 3 of our Gazelles already. But yeah, got that in hand. So from a really not that great hand, you know, we draw 2 copies of Gazelle and 2 copies of Dark Summoning Beast. We sent a card from their hand to the graveyard. We got a monster negate. We got our Super Poly and our Droll ready to go. We got follow-up on the next turn and a bunch of graveyard effects ready to float in. So this is not a build-a-board deck. You know, this is a deck that plays with your opponent. It's mid-range. So I'm able to stop a lot of their plays, and I have follow-up next turn. I mean, this is like a really, really unless they draw all blowout cards, this is a fantastic position to win the game in. But I'll run through one more test hand. Maybe we could get something even crazier, because you can get definitely crazier end boards than this in the deck. All right, so these go back into the extra. We'll do one more test hand, see how that goes. And again, like I personally feel that for this deck, Super Poly at 3 is better than Nightmare Apprentice. I really like Nightmare Apprentice. It's a fantastic card. But when I'm getting to choosing my points, I don't really want to cut Droll because it's just too good right now. And it's too cheap. Can't cut the Griffin in the extra deck. And yeah, Super Poly I think is just too good to not run at 3. All right, 5 cards, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. All right, so this is one of those hands where we didn't draw into our fusion material. So we're going to be depending on the 2 draws from the field spell to really get something going. You know, we have Drolls, we can stop our opponent and potentially wait till the next turn. But if we're not drawing into our polymerizations or our branded fusions, we have to depend on the luck of the draw with the Sacred Beast field spell. So I'll run through that right now. Opening of the Spirit Gates. We are going to use this as much as possible to add our Dark Beckoning Beast. This is our normal summon. So normal summon Dark Beckoning Beast, and his effect to get us another search. We've already got our Dark Summoning Beast in hand. We don't have the field spell. So this is when I'm going to search Chaos Summoning Beast. Okay. Dark Beckoning Beast lets us normal summon another Dark Fiend, 0 attack, 0 defense. So we'll tribute him to normal summon our Dark Summoning Beast. So you have a couple of options. You can actually get into double Raviel on the first turn, but it really isn't necessary because you're not playing like a rank 10, you know, Xyz. But I'll go ahead first, Dark Summoning Beast, banish itself, tribute itself, I'm sorry, to special summon Raviel from deck. Always defense mode because I'm perpetually scared of Lightning Storm. And then I will activate Opening of the Spirit Gates, discard Chaos Summoning Beast to special Dark Beckoning Beast. The reason I'm not going to special either of these is because I want to have the graveyard effects live. I'm going to use Chaos Summoning Beast's graveyard effect right now and add from deck to hand the field spell Fallen Paradise. So yes, this is where we're depending again on luck of the draw. You know, otherwise we're probably just going to have to pass on this hand. But let's see, we do have a lot of potential fusion cards that we can access this deck. So see if we get lucky. Activate Fallen Paradise. Effect to draw 2. Oh, okay, all right. Well, so this is unfortunate. No ability to fuse. We do have Skullmeister, we do have Droll and Lockbird. You know, again, we have the ability to search another Raviel from our deck to our hand, and we still have a board presence established. So unless they OTK us, I think we're in a fair position. Like next turn, we're drawing, Mirror Sword Knight, so we have starters. But that's just like the way it goes sometimes. I'll just try one more test hand. And again, you know, this is not a tier 0 deck. As you just saw, I kind of went through my turn, wasn't really able to do much. Link monsters were very important to the Sacred Beast strategy. But I'm not playing this because I want a tier 1 deck, or tier 0 deck rather. It's really like a rogue strategy that can play really well. People don't know where to stop your combos. They don't really know what to do against it. So yeah, it's just fun. And again, it's cool to play Sacred Beasts in 2025. I guess it's going to be 2026 soon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Keep drawing double Gazelle for some reason, but this is, you know, this is a playable hand also. So we'll start with Mirror Sword Knight. We're going to have our 3rd Gazelle in hand. I don't know why the Gazelles are clumping, but I'll tribute Mirror Sword Knight to special summon Baphomet from deck. And Baphomet is going to add us Gazelle branded fusion. Okay. And this is our hand. So we do have Chaos Summoning Beast in hand. So it's good to keep, you know, in mind. Let's activate Chimera Fusion. We'll fuse these two off for Baphomet Fusion. Chainlink 1 Baphomet to send. Chainlink 2 Gazelle to add. And Chainlink 3 Baphomet and Graveyard to special summon Mirror Sword Knight. Okay. So then we are going to add our Nightmare Apprentice. That guy is going to send... what are we going to send here? I think we're going to send our Boyo because we want to get Mutiny in the Sky active just to have the ability to fusion summon again. Okay, got a pretty solid hand. Let's go ahead and add our Chimera Fusion back. And our only option from this point on is to fuse again. So I'm going to activate Chimera Fusion. Now we're going to think about what we actually want to bring out. So we can bring out Duke of Demise, normal summon Gazelle again, get another Chimera Fusion. That might be our best option, because even if I send Aerial Eater, it doesn't really look like I'm going to get the Sacred Beast line going here. I'm going to have to send 2 more cards to graveyard to get the Sacred Beast line going, and I don't really think that's worth it. So I think I'm going to fuse Chaos Summoning Beast and Skullmeister into Duke of Demise. Using Duke of Demise's effect, I'll normal summon Gazelle, and Gazelle's effect is going to let me search another copy of Chimera Fusion. All right. So we've got all 3 of these going now. So in this case, I would very much like to hold this Chimera Fusion until next turn to Griffin my opponent. And we do have 4 Fiends in graveyard, so I can go with a full Mutiny in the Sky line into basically whatever I want. We can do more graveyard setup here though, because I don't have a card to destroy my opponent's field. So why don't we go into Aerial Eater, use Mutiny in the Sky, shuffle back our Big Wing Baphomet and our Skullmeister, and go into Aerial Eater. Aerial Eater's effect is going to let us send from deck. So we have Chaos Summoning Beast engrave. Let's send our Dark Summoning Beast. And, you know, just for kicks at this point, you could use both Chaos and Dark Summoning Beast effect to search your Raviel and your field spell, but you're really not going to have an option to get either of them out right now. You can technically extend a little more than that, but I really don't think it's worth it at this point. Like, again, you have really good board presence. I'm going to use Mutiny in the Sky at this point, honestly, sending Duke of Demise to the graveyard to add it back to hand, because now Duke of Demise is going to let me add back any of my Fiend monsters that I want next turn, so it's good setup. And yeah, go ahead, set Chimera Fusion. I'm going to do the same thing on the draw phase, activate Mirror Sword Knight's effect to get my +2, and then I have a monster negate engrave when this goes. I've got my Chimera Fusion that I could, you know, bring out Guardian Chimera. And yeah, follow up next turn. I have 3 graveyard effects live. Like, I think I'm just going to honestly upload some EDO Pro recordings as well, because like it's a little bit difficult for me to show a mid-range deck like this. It's not like a build-a-board strategy. There are combos, there are interactions that are not easily explained verbally, rather be shown. You know I talked about last time the power of Duke of Demise, being able to get that extra normal summon. which is not necessarily something I demonstrated here. But, I mean, just for the heck of it, I could try one more test hand, because if I draw a starter for both Sacred Beast and Chimera engines, it becomes really obvious how powerful that the card is. 3, 4, 5. Can I do something with that? There we go. That's a ridiculous hand. I could do something with that. Let's go through one more combo line. One more combo line so we can do some crazy stuff. Okay. So when I've got both engines, when I've got a fusion card, I always want to start with the Sacred Beast engine. That's because it generates the most card advantage. And also, if I can go into both, I'd rather the Sacred Beast cards eat the hand traps, to be honest with you. So I'll normal summon Dark Beckoning Beast. Use his effect to add Opening of the Spirit Gates. Shall then activate. And search Dark Summoning Beast. I prefer to search Dark Summoning Beast than Chaos Summoning Beast every time, because I think getting the graveyard effect to add Raviel to hand is more valuable, having an extra monster, than searching the field spell. I will then use Dark Beckoning Beast to get the extra normal summon of Summoning Beast, tribute and summon him. Okay. Then, from this point, so I want to be able to send Chaos Summoning Beast to get the field spell. So from this point, I'm going to have to use Chimera Fusion, Dark Beckoning Beast, Dark Summoning Beast. I guess I technically didn't need to normal summon him anyway, but that's okay. I'm working through all these combos myself. We went to Area Leader. Area Leader's effect is going to send a monster from deck to grave. So I am going to send our Chaos Summoning Beast. Okay. Opening of the Spirit Gates effect. I'll discard Mutiny in the Sky to add Chaos Summoning Beast to hand. Special Chaos Summoning Beast. Then I will activate Dark Summoning Beast in grave, banish it to add a Raviel from deck to hand. Chaos Summoning Beast, tribute to special Raviel. And then his effect in graveyard, banish him so I can search the field spell. So this is where I can potentially get my draw 2. And you may say here, like, oh, if I don't get the draw 2, I'm in a really bad position right now because I'm, got bricks. But it's actually not the case. I have Mutiny in the Sky in graveyard, which I haven't activated yet. So I can use its effect to send either of these to add it back and fuse again. But for now, Fallen Paradise, effect the draw 2. Okay. Not exactly what I'd like to draw, but I can use Mutiny in the Sky. Send Boyo, add it back. And that's pretty much all I need to do here. Mutiny in the Sky effect. Let's shuffle back both of our Dark Beckoning Beasts to bring out our Duke of Demise. And that's all she wrote. Duke of Demise is out. Duke of Demise effect. Extra normal summon. Extra normal summon our Gazelle. Gazelle's effect, search Chimera Fusion. Activate Chimera Fusion. Let's fuse these two off. Go into first Chimera. So Chimera effect, Chainlink 1 to discard a card. Gazelle effect, Chainlink 2 to add an illusion monster. So we are going to add our Faithful Nightmare Apprentice. And our opponent's going to discard one at the end phase. Chimera Fusion, add itself back to hand. Nightmare Apprentice, let's send this other copy of Gates to special summon itself and get a search of Chimera Sword Knight. This is also a little thing, not really that big of a deal for card advantage. Opening of the Spirit Gates, when you have a level 10 monster, lets you add a continuous spell from your graveyard to your hand, so you can actually use this effect now to add back the copy of Gates we just discarded. So that's a little interaction a lot of people probably don't know about. Okay, so from here, I want to get Mirror Sword Knight Engrave. I want to be able to go into Baphomet to pitch, so I am going to activate Chimera Fusion again. Do we have to do that? Yeah. Let's let's send these two. Bring out Baphomet. And Baphomet's effect is going to let us send from deck to grave. So here's something kind of cool we could do for follow-up on the next turn. If you send a level 5 or higher Fiend with Baphomet's effect right now, like let's say, for example, I want to send Radiant because I'm saying next turn I might want to kaiju whatever my opponent puts on the field. Well, now that's set up engraved by Baphomet, and we can activate our Duke of Demise effect, banish it, add Radiant back to hand. So that's essentially a way to search Radiant right out of the deck. You know, kind of crazy. We have Aerial Eater to bring itself back. We can use Mutiny in the Sky next turn to add itself back to hand. And we have the Mirror Sword Knight negate. So honestly, again, I'm okay with this. One monster negate, but plenty of difficult cards to get rid of. Floating, a discard a card from my opponent's hand, and Kaiju follow-up on the next turn. Plus, starter, opening of the Spirit Gate so I can get things going again. So, that's the deck. I'm not going to go through any more test hands right now. I will like to upload some Yugioh Pro videos, so hopefully you guys can enjoy those. And this video as well. If you did, drop a like, drop a comment, and I would be happy to accommodate any other requests for this deck. Again, it's really interesting, it's really fun, and a unique way to play Sacred Beast and Chimera strategies together. So, thank you guys for watching. Have a good one.